or virtually. We do not have any members of the public in person or virtually. Should they appear, I will acknowledge that, and they may be heard per point for up to 2 minutes. If everybody can please rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this point, I wanted to see if we have a motion regarding the adoption of the agenda.
Yes, a motion.
And is there a second? All in favor of adopting the agenda?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? It is unanimously adopted. And with respect to the minutes, if I could have a motion on that, please?
Motion to accept the
And
minutes.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of approval of the July 2nd, 2025 minutes?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Those minutes are approved. So turning to the action items, I will remind everybody that while there are a number of things on the agenda, we had agreed at the last meeting to primarily focus on 2 issues. Those would be A and H on the agenda, and the other items are there more as a placeholder. So at our last meeting, we discussed that we were going to have a packet of information prepared and an outline that we would ask to be considered by the town at the hearing that is scheduled for August the 15th. That was circulated. I do want to note that the version marked draft 3 is missing the FLs or FIs. I am told by the person that prepared it that in the actual document, it is showing up, it's just in this PDF version, it is not, and that, of course, if this is something we vote to accept and submit, the version that says draft 3 would be modified to delete draft 3, as well as to include the missing letters from the starts of words with F. Has everybody had a chance to review it?
Yeah.
And are there suggestions about any changes, additions, deletions, modifications that anybody wishes to have made?
I shared those, with Gary when they sent it around, so nothing.
Are you all prepared? Anybody that is appearing virtually, do you have any comments that you want to make regarding this? That having been said, what is the general feel in comment before we take any votes about whether we should vote with the modifications that I previously acknowledged, which are correcting the words starting with F, in what has been drafted and submitted along with the attachments for those to be submitted to the town for consideration at the August 15th meeting? Anybody want to?
I don't have any questions about the document, but just more about how the process, is it just gonna be, would you present it, or how does it on August 15th?
So what would happen is we will vote. If we vote that it should be submitted, then Gary will be presenting it at the meeting. It will show up next week for circulation, and then it would ultimately be voted upon. Gary, is that correct? And is there more to that?
Yeah, I don't know if it would be voted on per se. I think what we're asking for is some guidance in what the next steps should be in the process. Get some reaction from the other commissioners to what the content is. If that content seems appropriate, should we continue to pursue this as a project? And I guess, looking for funding is going to be a big thing too. I think we'll have to discuss a little bit about that at the commissioners meeting, whether or not there's any source of funds that we might tap into that would support this kind of project. But I think getting a sense from them of the importance of the project, are the as we've outlined it, is an appropriate project. I think that'll be a useful project for us to pursue. So that'll be a big part of it.
Other questions or comments?
And I would say any member of the committee is certainly welcome to participate and offer comments on your own if you would like to.
Do you have an idea of when this will be, like at the next meeting? I think we
Yeah,
had
the
talked
next
about
commissioners
when.
meeting, I would plan to try to get this on the agenda for the next commissioners meeting, which is the 15th.
At 3 PM.
And that's why you decided to schedule this meeting kind of
Yeah,
Yeah.
8:15.
at a on a hurry-up schedule so that we could be prepared to do that on the 15th.
Other questions or comments? How about anybody that's appearing virtually? Any questions or comments? So,
I would like to make a comment.
please.
This is an incredible piece of work that everybody did. I just think that we have really made some progress and it's something to be proud of.
It has
pass on
taken a
to
lot
them.
of work, and I thank everybody who has contributed on it. I think everybody in the committee has had their hands in it in some way or another, and I do want to acknowledge that Sally has now joined us virtually, so welcome.
If I may, I would just say that, yeah, the members of the committee really dug into this. Really did a substantial amount of work, and I think what's good about this committee is that I think all the members realize that once you join a committee like this, there's actually work to be done.
Yeah.
You can't just show up for the meetings and make comments, you actually have to put some effort in. And I thank the committee for the work they've done on this. It's been very helpful.
Sally, I know you're kind of coming in, we're talking about the packet of information. Did you have any comments or questions?
Well, I have to say, I think that Gary and Liam did an excellent job of putting together a synopsis of the information that we had to present to the committee. And really, I don't think we could have asked for anything more than what they presented to us. So I'm very happy with it.
Thank you to both of you for getting this in such a succinct and clear version.
Quick question for Gary. At the next commissioners meeting, I know you'll be presenting. If information comes up in between now and then that is, we're not able to append to that document, could I potentially make comments in person to append?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then one more in general, based off the last commissioners meeting, what is the feel around this project by the other commissioners? Were there any outlying comments?
We haven't talked specifically about it. I mean, we outlined this potential project in one of the earlier meetings, and everyone was supportive, but we didn't spend any time talking detail. I think this gives us a much more substantive document to talk about and get some reactions to.
I have
Gotcha, thank you.
one other thought, or concern. Brent Jett, which I love that name, did reach out to me. I think I shared that with our subcommittee. And I just said we were having this meeting and with these goals, but, was that still the correct process? Should I still be the one who he's communicating with at this point? I can just update him about August 15th. I like the fact that he did reach out, he is interested.
Is this someone from GMB?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Or I could ask him to, start contacting someone else, if that's appropriate, or I'm happy to remain the person he's contacting.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't see a problem with that.
My feeling on it is that you have established that contact, and at this point, if you don't mind continuing to just keep them informed that this is where we are, and being that point of contact could be very helpful.
So easy to just tell him about the 15th, and then after the 15th, maybe, if there's any feedback I can share with him, he would let me know.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you mind
No,
continuing?
No, not at all.
And, all our meetings are all recorded and they're
So he
publicly
could
available for anyone who wants to
use it as
watch
interest.
the discussion.
Other comments or questions? Are we ready to take a vote as to whether we wish for this to be submitted with the modifications previously noted?
Yes.
Do I hear a motion?
Motion, yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of revising this and submitting it to occur so that it can be considered for the August 15th discussion at the town meeting of the commissioners? All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That having been unanimously voted upon, it is, will be submitted. Thank you, Gary.
Did you ask?
There isn't anybody here from the public, not virtually or in person, so we do not need to request more, thank you. So the other items on the agenda, we were going to basically have them there as a placeholder, and that would turn us to H, which is a discussion on whether our current name of the committee should remain, and if we decide that we wish to have the town consider modifying it, we have a list of submissions from our committee members. Of course, anybody can offer additional ones if you have additional ones, but I want to put this out first for comment about whether you believe that the name of this committee should be modified. So I welcome input on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those that are virtual, your general thoughts on whether the name of our committee should be changed?
Yes, it should be changed.
Is there anybody that has questions about it or feels that we should not change the name? That having been said, all those in favor, if I can have a motion to recommend to the town that the name of our committee be changed? Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of our recommending to the town that the name be changed? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Without any opposition, it is unanimous that we recommend to the town that the name of our committee be modified. So now I want to ask if everybody's had an opportunity to review the 24 suggestions of considered names for the committee, and also to get some input about the names.
Do you want
Would
to
it
know?
make sense to try to narrow it down to, you know, a smaller number that we think, you know, the committee prefers?
So we can do this by going around, and whoever has names that they particularly like, I can check those off. Anybody that particularly dislikes a name, we can cross that out. So we can do it that way, or any way that you all think would be more efficient.
We could go with what we like.
Okay?
Yeah, start maybe with the top. Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we, each person go around and tell the
Yeah.
top three that you
I like a
like?
lot of them, so I'm
Okay,
kind of,
well, why don't you tell us which ones you like?
I like things with resiliency in it and sustainability. So those are a couple of the words that I'm looking at, so like number 6, there's another one. 13, environmental resilience, something like that. That's a little less threatening or triggering. And then 14, 15, 16, I don't know. See, that sounds just like, ooh, that's good.
I like 11, Coastal Resilience Committee.
I liked shoreline sustainability, though I was worried shoreline was maybe too specific. So,
The
but
name of a company.
too corporate. I think I'm avoiding climate and environment because that's the
Yeah.
whole purpose of change, you know? So, but I think resiliency and sustainability are descriptive enough without being triggering or whatever we're
Yeah.
trying to avoid. But maybe coastal instead of, so I would agree with coastal resiliency, shoreline sustainability. I don't really have any specific.
Sally?
Well, first of all, and I love, the fact that we are a committee that's come together to deal with climate change. However, the reality of the situation is that word climate, I think, is still gonna just set some people off. So I would not be in favor of including any of those that, I guess it's the top 9, because they all mention climate. My favorite is the Resilience and Sustainability Committee, because it speaks to what we're looking to do, but there's nothing in the title that is, overtly going to annoy anybody or get anybody's stander up. And my second choice would be the Coastal Resilience Committee. I think we need the word resilience. I like the fact that we would think about including sustainability, because that's a big part of what we're looking at.
When you were looking at the second one that you suggested, is that number 6?
Coastal Resilience Committee is number 11.
Number 11, okay, thank you.
I agree. I think Resilience and Sustainability Committee is a good name. I think including the word coastal is a little redundant, just because we're a coastal town. If we just say Resilience Committee, it would mean the same thing. So I say Resilience Committee or Resilience and Sustainability Committee.
Dave?
My recommendation is Resilience and Sustainability Committee.
Is there anybody else up there that I have not asked for comment?
Sarah?
Deborah, I'm on, but I'm having a little.
And your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I agree. I like the resiliency and sustainability words. Liam, I have a little bit of a different opinion on coastal. I just sort of think coastal elicits something that the public might be more interested in, but I'm not married to it.
So what I have heard is that there seems to be a dislike of 1 through 9 because it has the word climate in it.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be some interest in 10, 11, 15 seems to be a favorite among everybody. There was also 16, 17, and 19. So looking only at 6, 10, 11, 15, 16, 17, and 19.
What about 14?
14,
Resilience
I've
and
got that one.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, yes. So can I hear some comments on those? And what I'm thinking is that we pick either the top 3 or the top 5 that we like, and we can prioritize them and submit them to the town for consideration. Gary, would that work?
It would. I think 3 would be,
Yeah.
I prefer 3 rather than 5, but
Okay.
it's up to you.
So, looking at 6, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, and did I hear somebody say 20 as well?
No, I think.
No, okay, so those are, that's 8. So what I'd like to do is hear comments among those and figure out where we've got the primary interest so that we can try to limit it to 3.
Let's start with 15, because that seemed to be the one that
Yeah,
everyone
I
felt
agree.
good about. It doesn't
So-
say climate, it doesn't say environment.
And we could add coastal, and I was kind of wondering what an acronym.
Oh, I have a different 15.
Oh,
Uh-oh, did I give you the wrong?
I have 14 is
Oh,
that one. That's why I
so-
said 14.
Okay,
Yeah, I have the different
so
one
what
on
happened
here.
is it got revised because somebody submitted one more name.
Okay.
And that became number 20 or somewhere in there, and so it did change the numbering.
Okay.
So,
Didn't I just,
yeah, 15's resilience.
so I could see 15, Resilience and Sustainability Committee, or Coastal Resilience and Sustainable, which we could
I think
be
we
like
agree we don't want
CRS.
climate or environment. Just sounds like we don't want those words.
Well, no, I was saying coastal, not
Yeah.
climate, but yeah, I
Coast.
think,
Yes.
but is it just too much of a mouthful?
Well, let me hear thoughts from everybody on number 15, because it seems to be a favorite and maybe our number one on our list.
I like 15.
Is there anybody that doesn't like 15?
Which one is number 15?
Resilience and Sustainability Committee?
Okay, yeah, I agree. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the one you said was your
So
favorite.
I'm hearing that that's, and of course, we'll take a vote on it once we get closer, but I'm hearing that everybody seems to like that one.
Yeah.
Is there any opposition to number 6, Climate Resiliency Committee? That's got the word climate in it, and
I'm
I heard
opposed.
some oppositions to that.
I would say I'm opposed to that.
Yeah, I think it's defeating the purpose.
Might as well should keep the name.
Okay, so, what about number
10.
10?
Let's read them off, because I think. that's
Coastal
confusing.
Preparedness Committee.
It makes me feel like we're in charge of the preparedness of the
Yeah,
town if
right.
something were to happen. I don't think
Don't
we're
call me.
qualified for that.
Okay, so how about number 11? Coastal Resilience Committee.
I like
there's
that.
nothing wrong with it. It's a fine name, but I do think coastal is just a little bit redundant.
That could be one of the three, unless we have another one that sounds
Okay.
popular.
And then, the resiliency, we've got that one. Resiliency Mitigation Committee, someone said number 16.
that's the one I was having.
Mitigation's confusing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's who we
Okay.
are.
What about Resiliency Planning and Response Committee?
No.
I mean, again, you're getting to the response, like, we're not gonna be out
Yeah.
there in
I
Yeah,
want that responsibility.
yeah.
uniforms.
Mitigation, response,
Yeah.
those are,
The Resiliency, the Shoreline Sustainability Committee.
I like that mainly because sustainability, but 15 has that, so,
I think it's too focused.
yeah.
Okay. The Sustainable Adaptation Resilience Committee, number 20.
That's a mouthful.
Too much information.
Too much?
SARC.
Too much information.
Too
Yeah,
much.
Maybe the SARC.
And Sustainable Adaptation Committee.
I don't know what adaptation, I guess.
For me, that's kind of
kind of
misleading.
resiliency,
Yeah, I guess.
adaptation are
I think it's covered in the other two.
similar concepts.
So I now have 15, 11, and 16. Were there any others that we wanted to have submitted?
What was 16?
So 15 is our number 1, Resilience and Sustainability Committee. Number 11 is Coastal Resilience Committee. And number 16 is Resiliency Mitigation Committee.
No, I thought we had taken.
No, we took
We said
16
no
out.
to
Yeah.
16? Okay.
No mitigation.
So now we've got 2. Do we want to only submit 2? Or did we want a third one?
I think 2 is fine, they can pick. Or they can say, we don't want you to change your
What are
name.
the two?
Provide.
What are the two?
15 is number 1, Resilience and Sustainability Committee.
Okay,
And 11 is Coastal Resilience Committee.
okay. I really like Dewey Beach Rising. It just unfortunately doesn't work as the name for the committee. So
No,
we can
that's
find
the one
something to
that's
use
missing
that
I
for.
know, I did, I added
Oh,
that.
that's the one I added, sorry, and that pushed everything
No, I came
down.
in too late with that one, but I think it's a cute name. I kind of borrowed it from Miami Beach, that's what they use.
Oh,
Miami
really?
Beach Rising, yeah.
Yeah, they need a
Sort of like
rise.
a-
Do we want that in for number 3? Thoughts on that, folks?
Yeah,
I don't know if I would consider it it's a slogan, not so much a
Yeah,
commitment.
it's very slogan,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have two that I'm hearing positive thoughts about. Our primary choice is Resilience and Sustainability Committee, and our second is Coastal Resilience Committee. Is there anybody that wants an additional one put on our list for submission?
Not an additional one, but is resilience, should it be resilience or resiliency?
Which one?
I guess on 15, is it resilience and sustainability, or is it resiliency and sustainability? I need a dictionary. I'm not
Right.
sure the difference between resilience and
Sounds like there should
resiliency.
be a Y if they're sustainable.
I think it should be to make it
And
consistent.
is it better sustainability and resilience or resilience and sustainability? What's easier to say?
Thoughts?
Resilience and sustainability, resiliency and.
There's something about resiliency and, but I guess sustainability and resilience. Just a mouthful, but
It is a no.
RASC.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you need to be resilient before you're sustainable.
Right, two leads to sustainability.
Yeah.
So Resiliency and Sustainability Committee and Coastal Resilience Committee. In that order of recommendations. Anybody else have any comments? There is no member of the public who is present personally or virtually. So anybody from the committee that wants to make a motion on those two names to be submitted in that order?
I'll make the motion to submit the two names.
Is there a second?
Second motion.
All in favor of submitting numbers 15 and 11, 15 changing the E to a Y? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? No opposition, the vote is to submit it, those two names. There are a number of other things on the agenda. Is there any committee member that wishes for any of those points to be addressed tonight?
We did just discuss the Tapestry project, but we could save it or we could.
Is there information on it?
The main information was that we sort of agreed that it was probably too soon to do, and that we wanted to capture, to maximize the effort, and it's not something we do again, so, that was a general consensus among all of us, but what else was there?
Well, one of the concerns was the lack of marketing chair or whatever the marketing person is for the town.
We wanted to be
So
a
who do we
part.
coordinate with? But,
Yeah.
sounds like we have to work within the parameters of the town, and we're missing a marketing lead. Is that fair?
That's fair. I suppose the possibility is if you were to try to get something started like this, we could create a special, very focused committee just on that one project and you might be able to attract people with marketing backgrounds to work just on that very focused project. That might work better than, a general marketing committee and trying to find a chair for that. Just an idea.
We felt like it would be best served to be a part of, a larger picture. And April had mentioned about having the town hall opening. Like if we're going to gather this information and have people participate, we want to believe we're taking it somewhere or there's a reason for it. Sort of getting the public comment, the way Lewis used it was like getting the public comment from people who wouldn't show up to a town hall, the youth. And sort of developing the questions that would elicit these, they were putting their comments on footprints, and then they gathered it. It looked like a nice little art piece that you could give to the town hall. So developing what those questions are, engaging the public. Mary had a great idea of how could the lifeguards participate. So there's all these great thoughts around it, but it feels a little premature. And maybe we could do it concurrently with, if we're going to hire a consultant, get some information from them, language that's to use, that it just felt like a little premature to move forward. I don't want to say we have to wait per se for
The town hall opening is
but
what we were
it
looking
just
at.
felt like, we have one shot at this. Let's make sure we're we're doing, the timing's right. And we kind of backed into the idea that there's a lot of things we don't know what the town is already doing. You know, because we could use it as an education campaign too. So like certainly changing our name should be decided before we start, because we can have, you know, booths set up, set the bonfire, we could have, you know, kids participating then, we could engage so I think that, but I feel like we should certainly know if we're changing our name, what other messaging do we want to get out there as a town? And if we're eliciting all these comments back, that we're promising to share them, you know, in the appropriate way. One of the thoughts we had was that some of the preparedness issues, Courtney, especially coming from Texas, was should we be sharing other information? What do we do if there's a flood here? Should we have the town share some of the information that we don't know? Should Dawn and Bill come and speak to us versus before we get to having someone from Lewis come to talk to us about Tapestry?
Yeah,
So
we
that
thought
we
we
could-
should be like better armed with what we actually do as a town. And then that's something we could
Right.
communicate.
So
That
what
we're
I'm
actually
hearing-
sharing information as we're collecting.
Like, do we have a
it.
siren? Do we have like
Right,
just?
is there an AM, FM, what radio station you're supposed to tune in if you're a tourist? And
I think it'd be great if we could get someone from the town to come speak to us. And then we're informed, because right now we don't really know.
right, and we don't want to start from scratch when we don't need to, or we want to be educating while we're gathering.
Is Dawn still on? I don't know if Dawn has any thoughts about that. See, her name's still up there.
Dawn?
Good evening. Took a while to click on all the little buttons here. And so, yes, the town, no doubt, and I'm speaking just for myself, and I have a feeling Bill would agree, that to know what needs to be done in the case of a disaster or in case of being prepared, whenever there is an approaching severe storm. We're not talking about just a thunderstorm, but we're talking about a coastal event like Superstorm Sandy. That is something that does need to be worked on by my department, and being able to inquire of FEMA. I know Commissioner Persinger did a fine job when you upgraded, or not upgraded, but actually brought about information of what Nags Head did, Nags Head, North Carolina, in their preparedness. I was very impressed with that, to be able to say that if something hits us, then we do this, we do that. How do we rebuild afterwards? And so, yes, this is something that I do feel Dewey does need to develop details, but that isn't something that FEMA can assist us with, because they have lots of information of what to do to be prepared. Whether we would adopt that or not, feel it would be appropriate, that's something that we would need to discuss. So that could be forthcoming.
So my thoughts on it are, right now, it may be premature. It may be something that we think about after we hear from the town, and that perhaps this is something we ultimately work on as a, perhaps part of the weekend of the town hall opening, since we could include all of the Tapestry program along with the information about how to be prepared, and some of the things you all have discussed, such as, do we have a siren? Is there a dedicated radio station in case there's an emergency, things of that sort. So at this point, would you agree that we want to continue to consider it, and it is something that we should ultimately work on, but at least for today's meeting, it may be premature?
Yes.
And I would only add to that we somehow learn more as a committee about what structures are in place already in Dewey. And I don't know exactly how to go about that. I've looked at the plans, I've looked at the Sussex County and, just briefly clicked through some of those. And I know that Bill Welfare is, the lead on all that. But, and also where is this committee appropriate place to discuss that? I feel like the Tapestry Project is a great opportunity to educate the public. So whether it's emergency preparedness is part of us or not, it should be part of Tapestry regardless.
So Gary, is it something that you might be able to bring back to our next meeting, just so that we know, is there a siren in Dewey? Is there a dedicated radio station? Is there an existing plan for an emergency? And when that may have been developed and how comprehensive it is?
Sure, yeah, I'll start talking to our town manager. I'll talk with Bill Zolber about this. I mean, he's the town manager. He has to have had some thoughts about, what do I do if we're hit with a big storm like this? And I'm sure he has some thoughts about that. So let me start there. And you mentioned the Sussex County plan. I know that we signed up for or signed on to, in some sense, the Sussex County emergency plan. I think we did that a couple of years ago, something like that. That's my recollection. Go ahead, John, maybe you know better.
Yes, you're absolutely right. We are part of the Sussex County Hazard Mitigation Plan. And anytime that this is current, anytime that there is severe weather approaching our area, Bill is contacted by Sussex County with all of these weather indicators of this is coming, that could happen, and so forth. So it's not that we, the town, are wondering what in the world to do. We are alerted. And of course, Kate Banaszak, our town clerk who's running your IT department right now, your video, puts that information on our website so that it's like a ticker tape or information that ones, if they want to go to the website, we do provide that information. I know the police department right now, under the new chief, is working on improving the police side of protection and alerting the general residents here in town. So this is a work in progress. It is something that we hope never happens to Dewey or to the coast. But if and when it does, we hope to be as prepared as possible. And this is something that we are working on now.
And the reason I came up with one of the reasons I came up with the Tapestry is sort of this communication element. Like, can you opt in for a text alert if you're a guest here for a week?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have power and be able to get on a website.
Like push communication.
Yeah. So those are kind of just brainstorming ideas and what we could communicate and maybe what we should all know. That was what we got to.
And I think our committee will have a duty, a responsibility to make it something that we can, because I think everybody that's a property owner should be able to answer those basic questions.
When you check
that you
in,
asked about it.
here's the number for text alert.
I'll talk with Bill and talk with Kate as well, because I know she has a lot of the information organized. And the committee can have an opportunity to see what information is available, maybe have some suggestions on how to make it more visible or
We
more
have
available.
great
in some
billboards
sense.
and stuff all over town, yeah.
So
I
yeah,
live
we'll
here
try to do that for
full-time,
the
and
next
I'm a
meeting.
little concerned right now.
Yeah.
I did not know this. So,
Well, there's a big storm coming now.
Yeah, I just drove through it. It was
Hard to
like, I'm not a scared driver, but when I was on the Bay Bridge, I was like,
Yeah.
why am I here?
Okay, so I'm hearing that Gary's gonna find out some information. He'll come back at our next meeting and we'll share what he learns, and we'll figure out from there whether that is something that is right for us to begin, or whether we push it out until we figure out what's happening with the consultant. Does that seem like a plan?
Yes, thank you.
Any other comments or issues that any committee member wishes to bring up? No. And we still do not have any members of the public as I'm looking virtually or in person. That is pretty much everything we chose to discuss at this meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second promotion to
The
adjourn.
meeting is adjourned.
Wow.
Thank
record
you.
timing.